Miss me? No, all right, sorry. Let's do it again. Give me a countdown again, Manuel.
3, 2.
Welcome back to Comedy Trap House News. It's your boy Marvin Telp. That was a Varnell Hill joke from Martin. Anyway, we are back in the building, and it has been an eventful news year. Like, we could literally just spin the show going through the chat early, but I'm gonna do what I do, bring the news to my people, and we're gonna get it going. All right, so first, this past Sunday, the NFL had championship weekend. And championship weekend for you basketball fans is like the Final Four. You know, the four best teams left in the league to face off to see who gets to play each other in the Super Bowl. And you just kind of expect really good football during AFC and NFC championship games. Instead, we got the choke fest. No, that is what I would like to do to the Baltimore Ravens coaching staff team. No, they were able to choke all on their own. They were able to choke all on their own. The signs of choking were all over the place, apparently. The Baltimore Ravens had to play the Kansas City Swifts, and that was their first mistake. Going into the game having to play Taylor Swift. The NFL also appointed refs that have a 60% win rate for the away team. Surprise. We're not going to get into all that, okay? Lamar didn't look like himself. Lamar looked like what's that quarterback's name? You know, the quarterback that just doesn't show up in the playoffs, who has a phenomenal season. He looked like whatever that quarterback's name is, and whatever team he's played for, who hasn't won a championship since the 90s. Can't think of who they are, but that's who Lamar looked like that particular game.
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott. Is Cam here? Are we all right? Oh, we're good. All right. Okay, good. We'll see. And now we also had opportunities, even with Lamar playing bad, even with a bad coaching scheme. And then Zay Flowers legitimately fumbled away a chance to go in. Now, you don't want to blame the kid. He was emotional. Things weren't going in their favor. He made a play. He tried to make a big play, and he ended up fumbling out of bounds, and it cost the game. No more outrage like it was against the Buffalo Bills, though, when it was the Chiefs. But we ain't got to talk about that. We know how they feel. But let's be honest. The refs had a bias. I'm not going to say who the bias was for, but I'm just going to say the refs had a bias. Okay? And it doesn't help that this is the same ref team that missed the call in the end zone during the Super Bowl last year. We're not going to say that. We're not going to bring up over shit. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to do any of that. Because to be honest, the Ravens had a chance. If the Ravens would have, I don't know, the number one rushing team in the league decided to run the ball, they might have actually won against the number 26 rushing defense team. But we ain't got to talk about any of that. What I do want to talk about is Taylor Swift, since she has been going to games, has raised the NFL's revenue $331 million. What? 331. $331 million. Guess what? I'm a Ravens fan. But if it's my business, I'm sorry, niggas, y'all can't go play. I need Swift and the Swifties at the Super Bowl. And this loss hurt. This loss hurt me until I saw the second half of this other game. The Lions and the 49ers. And Brock Purdy looked terrible. Goff looked like an all-pro. It looked like he was leading his team to the Super Bowl. They were up by 17 points at halftime, 24-7. The problem with momentum is, Lord, once you slip a little bit, momentum will take it from out under your feet. And that is the actual live shot of what the Lions sideline looked like after halftime. Because my God. And you know, it's things just don't go in your favor sometimes, and that's what happened, right? Like, this is what happened. They had the missed interception that turned into that 50-yard gain. They had 2 drop fourth down passes. Eminem and Kim looked like they were like getting back together or something like that because they were at the game together, which all led to Eminem being extremely frustrating, flipping off the fans, and the Lions losing by 3 points. And I was like, Lord, after both of those games, the only thing I wanted to do was get high. But then I got scared because apparently high crime is happening, ladies and gentlemen. Smoking weed is turning folks into killers. Bryn Speecher, 32 years old, apparently back in 2018, stabbed her boyfriend 108 times. Chad O'Melia was stabbed 108 times. He only dated this girl for 3 weeks, so he couldn't have done anything crazy. Apparently, he said, babe, come through. She came through. He said, hit the bong. She hit the bong twice, and then she stabbed him 108 times. It is what they are calling, and I want to get this right, a weed-induced psychosis. Those are not the symptoms of weed. Weed makes you hungry, happy, and horny. It's a Cat Williams reference. We'll talk about Cat at the end of the show because I know what's coming up. But those aren't the symptoms of weed. I've never smoked any weed. Indica, sativa, hybrid, and wanted to do anything else. I mean, I might have wanted to stab something, but it wasn't with a knife. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah. And anyway, Judge Worley, who sat over this crime, he looked like he believes that weed is a gateway drug, though. Like, you can look at him and tell he believes that weed is responsible for the destruction of the United States. So he sentenced her. He said she had no control of her actions in this weed-induced psychosis. And he sentenced her to 100 hours of community service and 2 years probation. And all I have to say to that is, if weed is causing that type of psychosis, you have to free all my niggas. Every last one of my niggas, specifically, I don't know about y'all niggas, but every one of my niggas in jail, every crime was preceded by a smoking of the blunt. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, every one of my friends that are doing a bid are doing a bid after weed-induced psychosis. Let them out. Let them out. Right now. And that's crazy because 100 hours of community service, that's what I needed to do for my graduation requirement. Right? We couldn't walk across the stage without doing 100 hours of community service, and yet that's all she has to do for stabbing this man 108 times. Again, when I smoke, I'm probably not stabbing 108 times. I promise you. Might get 50, 58, you know, depends on if we had a drink before. Now, let's not be surprised about this, right? Because this was a white woman who cried in court. And if I can, let me remind you of the other white woman. Remember this one? Her daughter went missing for a month. Her mom was like, hey, where's the baby? She was like, I don't know, where's the baby? Mom called the police and was like, the baby is missing. The police came over. She was like, oh man, I ain't seen the baby since the maid took her. And they was like, the maid took her? And he was like, yeah, like, what'd the maid take her for? The maid took her to get more lemon pledge. And then they never came back from the store. And they was like, well, how long ago was it? She was like last month. And they were like, wait, your baby's been missing for a month and you ain't seen him? She was like, man, your guess is as good as mine. Then they found the baby in the back of the parents' house, and a bag in a dumpster, duct tape with her remains, and they was like, hey, she cried. And they was like, she didn't do it. There's no way. There's no way she did it, because she's in court crying right now. We don't want to ruin her life. That case, with the evidence to prove, should have been a simple 1, 2, 3, just like in wrestling. They should have been able to say, hey, get her the fuck out of here. But man, we got to start investigating the value of white women's tears, because my God, how much would that go on the free market? Speaking of a simple 1, 2, and 3, Vince McMahon is in trouble again. Vince McMahon, the founder of the WWF. Now, I know you're like, no, Marvin, it's not the WWF, it's the WWE. No, I'm a little bit older. It was the WWF until the World Wildlife Federation pulled up on their asses and was like, hey, that's our initials. Run that shit, or we sending Panda and Smokey after your ass. They changed it to WWE. Now, Vince had to step down from his CEO position of the WWE because of sexual misconduct allegations. He stepped down. He was like, hey, I'm not going to do it. Then he did the Giddey thing and paid some folks off, and things got really quiet. Then the merger happened. The big UFC, WWE, we're going to become one big organization called TKO. That merger happened, and Vince was like, wait, how much money? And Vince was like, I mean, can I get a job? So they brought Vince back, right? And they did it quietly, which was smart. It was like, Vince knows the in and outs of wrestling. We're going to need him on the board. And then Janelle Grant popped up. And Janelle Grant filed a lawsuit against Vince McMahon saying sexual assault and sexual trafficking. That basically he was like, hey, you let me hit, I got this job available. And he was like, oh, my boys is here too, so if you let us all hit, you get some stock options also. So sexual trafficking and sexual misconduct. And I'm like, yo, he only pulled that on her because she looks like that. I was like, I promise you, he would not have pulled that on Maya Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's daughter? No. Because one, I would say Brock would roll up on him, but Brock don't need to. Maya can handle this shit by herself. Yo, she looks strong.
As hell.
Maya looks strong, dog. Like she really do look like Brock with a wig. Like this is AI Brock. Is what this. Anyway, so she's since filing a lawsuit. TKO stocks have slipped, and so Vince has resigned again. Now, I just want to give Vince this message. Vince McMahon, you are a successful white man. You ran your business very well through the 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s. And things didn't really go left for you until you decided that you wanted to be and act like a nigga. You gotta listen to Paul Mooney, sir. Everybody wanna be a nigga, but don't nobody actually wanna be a nigga. And now you are dealing with nigga consequences. So get your black ass. You're fired, sir. Speaking of black folk, there was a deadly attack in Jordan, and most of you might have heard that a drone strike landed and it blew up some stuff and it killed 3 American troops. All 3 American troops happened to be African American, Black American troops. But the country is angry. The U.S. wants retaliation. They listed the 3 deaths, and then they said most of the other injuries were cuts, bruises, and traumatic brain injuries. The fuck? So there are some people dealing with some major things that are happening now. Now, here's the thing. Apparently, the drone was mistaken for a U.S. drone because the drone just followed another U.S. drone back. No radar, no strategy. They was like, oh, that's not ours. We'll follow it back. So they follow this drone back and it blows up on base. Now, I understand. We want to retaliate against whatever Muslim army this was, because I don't know exactly who it was, but it was somebody. And you know, them niggas with the turbans has got to die. But if you have to tell me that I'm losing my life because somebody couldn't tell that this drone was not ours, shit, I'm suing somebody, and not just me, the family, because this is negligence. Yes, the U.S. is like, oh, we're mad at this, but the U.S. is not being honest about the true source of this. The true source of this is that somebody did not do their job, and that this loss of life did not need to happen. It didn't need to happen. Anyway, just giving you an update of what's going on. The world is falling apart just a little bit at a time, but we're in a new year. Be better, be great, love yourselves, love your friends, love your family. Make sure your universe is intact. All right, that's what we got story-wise. We're going to jump into the chat because I know the chat is hot. Let's see what's good. Courtney came in hot, of course. So did Patrick. Both of y'all. I need y'all to be better. What's up, Jay? Living? Oh, Ramona, thanks. I missed you too. Jamel, appreciate that. Oh, it's all types of. Oh, look at this. Oh yeah, the Ravens did. I don't know what that was. What's so great about Taylor Swift? Ramona, are you asking this in the terms of like her career, or are you asking in the terms of why won't the NFL leave us alone? Because those are two different things, and let me know and I'll talk about it. Refs favored the Chiefs in wait. Damn, you jumping everywhere. All right. Refs favored the Chiefs in 2019 Super Bowl with the 90s. The Chiefs as well. Oh yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if the refs who ref the Ravens game end up back at the Super Bowl. Like, mark my words. And we're talking about egregious calls that they missed. Don't be surprised. Goodell didn't want. Oh, listen. Could you imagine if Detroit and Baltimore got to pull up in Vegas? Oh. First of all, it'd be the best fried chicken on the side of the road you ever had in your life. But it'd have been way too many niggas. Way too many niggas. And I would have been one of them because I would have gotten a car and drove. That's not weed she smoked. They said it is marijuana. They tested that white girl's system and it was like, it is weed, which makes me believe she did that shit on purpose. It's not a weed-induced psychosis. Anything she should have did was taking a nap. I'm not trying to hear nothing else. That's, Jay, that is funny. That motherfucker said yogurt is spicy to that. Yogurt is spicy to that man. I don't smoke anymore, but it always calmed me down. Yeah, that's the whole point. Jay Lemon, it's quite sad. Rest in health of shoulders. Waiting for you to discuss Cat. Oh, we'll get to Cat. Any chance the Lions game? No, because the Falcons game was in the Super Bowl. Y'all should have just won, and y'all failed. We will forever talk shit about the Falcons. That Lions game is close, but y'all were supposed to win. Where her talent. Oh, she. Maybe you've missed this very important aspect of American society, and I'm gonna break it down very slowly. White mediocrity wins. That's the Taylor Swift explanation. She's a blonde girl. She's decent enough for white people to get behind. She's cute-ish. She's got zero body, so she don't got that big ass thing that, you know, white people hate asses. And they're just getting behind her. And it's the world support, right? Like, all of these major markets that she's running into are more white people. White mediocrity wins. I saw a meme that was like, I'm entering this year with the confidence of a mediocre white man. And the reason why that struck me is because I was like, those motherfuckers think they're the greatest in the world. That is why. And so I just encourage you all to be mediocre white people. Like, walk with that confidence. Because we always like, man, we have to be the best at everything. We don't have to be the best. You've seen it all the time. They tried to give Taylor Swift the swag surf like she invented it. And it was offbeat and wrong. Just be mediocre white and succeed, people. I wish you the best. Where are we at? Almost choked. In
Not
case
true.
no one told you, I'm fine as hell. Who? I don't know who Absolutely Not is. Absolutely Not. You need to put a photo up or whatever. How you doing? You know. What do we got? Damn. They jumped from Pink to Her. Yeah. Listen, that's all it is. She's gonna be popular for a little while. And also, she was a white woman that was bullied by a nigga on TV. That's when the white people really got behind her. When Kanye was like, "I'm not gonna hold you," and they was like, "Oh, you can't do this to a white woman on TV." Now she's her. That's it. Like. The only song I know is Shake It Off, and I wish I could shake her off of the NFL broadcast, but here we are. Yeah, I said, no, that's there. Listen, Ramona, you're not listening to me. Yes, there are more talented white singers, but that's not what I said. I said they need to be mediocre. We celebrate mediocre. Think about it like this. If you watch a TV show, right, or any viral thing that happens, right, if a white person is dancing poorly, but it's fun and cute, we go, damn, they did a good job. They did not. What you got to get in the mediocre white zone. You can't be in the good white zone. Nobody care if you're a good white person. You got to be mediocre when it comes to your talent. Mediocre white people pop. That's all I'm telling you. Fucking up the YouTube algorithm already. We were supposed to start this year clean, ladies and gentlemen. And now y'all got me in here getting me canceled by the Swifties. That's all right. The Beehive still loves me. Cat Williams. I know this is old and we didn't have to discuss this, but Cat Williams came out and eviscerated the comedy industry in a 3-hour or 2-hour and 46-minute interview with Shannon Sharpe. And as a comedian, as a stand-up comedian, I think there's a very important thing to understand about this Cat Williams interview is Cat didn't come to this show to start the beef. If you haven't watched Club Shay Shay, which I realize a lot of people haven't, Cat Williams came to just respond. So Ricky Smiley, Cedric the Entertainer, and Steve Harvey all were on Club Shay Shay first. And Shannon asked them questions specifically about their careers and their beefs and things like that. What a good interviewer does. So he asked Ricky Smiley about next Friday. And Ricky Smiley was like, oh, people don't know I was supposed to be Money Mike. He asked Cedric the Entertainer about the stolen joke, and Cedric was like, I don't know what stolen joke you talking about. If Cat got beef with me, why ain't he said something for the last 5 years? Steve Harvey came in and just spit all types of bullshit. And so when people are like, why is he coming for them? They started the shit. He responded. And he responded accordingly. Ricky Smiley did a whole, brought his old agent on and everything just to be like, yeah, I auditioned for Money Mike. Yeah, nigga, you auditioned. That don't mean you got it. You don't got it. Now, we also know that there are rumors about the casting couch and people getting fucked in the ass and sucking dick and all types of stuff. If you really want to understand why Mike Epps and Kevin Hart was beefing, just go look it up. You'll find it. So Cat came in and dropped bars. And I was with all of those bars because you can pull the receipts. You can see Mark Curry's joke being stolen. You can see Cat Williams' joke being stolen. You can see all of this, right? I don't blame Cat for answering questions. What I blame Cat for is having us sit there for 2 hours and 46 minutes. Nigga, what the fuck? Because Cat then started talking about some other shit. And Cat started talking about hitchhiking across the country and being the first person to graduate from elementary school with a doctorate degree. And then I was like, now, Cat, you sound like you're smoking some good. Cat Williams said, no one has ever been high with me before. But Cat, we have seen you high on TV. Okay? So, what I'm not going to do is say Cat dropped 100% truth. I think Cat went in there with the same energy as Orlando Brown. If you ask me the right question, you gonna find out that Giddey gave me the whoppums. But don't ask me, do I think the earth is flat? Does it rotate on the axis? What is the speed of sound? Because what you're going to get from that point on is some information. What you are going to get is some information that may not be aligned to the truth, but more of my personal opinion. That is the Cat Williams thing. Now, anybody else got anything to say before we get the heck out of here? Whoa, don't put Pink with her. Pink can actually sing and has a little bit of sauce. But I'll give you that. Pink does have a little bit of sauce. Pink got a little bit of sauce. I thought he was entertaining, but to say that Steve's lies about living in his old car was a low blow. Listen, the car thing, you never know what part of a journey you meet somebody on, right? So I'm not going to discredit the Steve Harvey car thing because I don't know. Because I can say right now, I've slept in my car for an extended period of time. No one would have known because the training business was going well and other things were going well, but before that, nothing was going well. So those things can happen. So I'm not going to discredit the things that we don't have receipts for. I'm just saying Cat has receipts for a good portion of the other things that he spoke about. Oh yeah, I'm running that 4 flat. Like, yeah, stop that. I saw Cat a little super lit when he... No. Look, we know Cat gets high. That's why I was confused by that moment. But again, would you not defend yourself? Are you going to go on there and be like, nigga, I smoke crack every day? We not Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor can pull that shit off. Nobody else can. Did you see that shit with Lawrence Taylor when they did the interview?
What did they say?
Lawrence Taylor was addicted to crack. And he was like, man, I would be on a football field lined up and be like, damn, I wish I could smoke some crack right now.
Yo, did he say he played high?
While he was playing football, he said it never. He said it never affected my play on the field. He said, but I would be in the huddles and I just be like, damn, crack.
Oh my god. Damn, he should have played for Baltimore.
No, listen, dog. The problem is he wouldn't have been at the games because crack was everywhere. That motherfucker would have never showed up.
Right, never been to practice.
Nothing. Listen, let me explain something about these NFC championship games. I don't blame the professor. I have not turned on. I watch ESPN religiously. I have not turned on ESPN. I haven't been on Facebook longer than 5 seconds. I don't want to hear people's analysis of a game that I saw. I don't want to hear... Lamar Jackson had one thing to do this year, and that was be the spokesman for black quarterbacks, right? Every black quarterback coming after Lamar had a huge opportunity snatched away from them because Lamar choked. But it wasn't just Lamar. Lamar choked, his team choked, his coach choked. You're the number one running team in the NFL. You don't run the ball. Lamar is dangerous. Lamar is the most accurate off of RPOs and play action. You're running play actions, but you're not running the fucking ball. Your quarterback's a little shaky and whatever. What do? You run the ball. You throw slants. You throw outs. You roll screens. You do things that you can get your quarterback in a rhythm. Like, you can blame Lamar. I blame his coach. And Todd Monken wanted to be a fucking hero when all he had to do was do what got us successful there. But we did the same thing in 2019. Anyway. All of that is to say, I understand why the teacher did that. He does not want to deal with anyone saying shit to him. I was on a hair trigger. I told my friends at the bar, I said, hey guys, as a friend, if anyone says anything to me, I'm going to punch him in the mouth. I just want y'all to know beforehand. They was like, Marvin, don't put that in the air. And I was like, no, it's not me putting it in the air. It is me explaining to you where I'm at. And you can do whatever you want with that information. That is all. These are painful, where there's a lot of emotions tied into this game. And when it loses, you got to live with it. Anyway, I'm done. Anything else before we get out of here, ladies and gentlemen? I don't think so. Cool. All right, so remember, we're back in business. We're back on the flow. So please like, subscribe if you haven't. I know a bunch of you have already. But like the video. Subscribe. Let's help out the algorithm grow. Take clips and share it, motherfuckers. Like, do that. Like, oh, that shit was funny. Take a real quick clip, reel it, share it. Like, let's grow the show. And also, like I said every time, super chats are phenomenal. You can buy my coffee or do anything like that to support the show. We love you. I love you. Thank you for banging with us. We'll see you.